Thank you so much for joining in. God bless you all. We are live from Culiacan, Sinaloa. Hold on one second. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. We are live from Culiacan, Sinaloa. Uh, we're in the middle of the war zone. We arrived a couple of days ago. We are here. You must excuse my throat. I am kind of sick and trying to get better. We arrived in Culiacan, Sinaloa. There has been a complete uh, war zone over here between the war of two cartels, Los Chapitos and Los Mallitos. This has been a conflictional and confrontational area right here in Culiacan, Sinaloa, where the atrocities and the insecurity, it is just unbelievable and unbearable. What I can tell you, as we have experienced in these couple of days, we have been writing with experienced journalists that they have been on the field since the war in Culiacanazo, 2019, and so on over here in Culiacan. These are really experienced journalists over here in Culiacan, which they are telling us mechanically and methodically how everything has been working and how it has been functioning over here in Culiacan. This is a ghost town. After 6, 7 o'clock at night, people start to go back home. It is so sad to see this because the people implemented an internal curfew between them. They said, you know what, it is not safe for us to go outside after 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So you will see a lot of the citizens going back home at 8 o'clock at night. We visited some communities and also some places that they are for tourists and places that they were booming with tourism and young people going out and celebrating weekends or celebrating on a daily day or going out for dinner. All these restaurants, all these international businesses are closed, are 8 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock at night. Don't even want to think about going out and being on the wrong side of town. We have seen a lot of activity of the federal government and also the military over here. But the sad thing about it is that the authorities of Culiacan, they don't want to get involved in this war. You actually hear the confrontations late at night, you hear the detonations late at night, and the actual government stays out, and when it's finished, they go in. On last week, just for people to understand how aggravating this has become, last week alone, 36 murders happened in just 7 days, which gives almost a total of 5 people per day dying and getting assassinated due to cartel activity and also violence. Also, there has been a seizure of more than 300 laboratories since 3 months ago. Basically, what since the Trump administration has come into office, which means that the Trump effect has massively pushed the authorities of Mexico to do something about it and to ultimately try to tackle and fight the organized crime and the cartel, which over here, the war is internal. The war is between two organized crimes in Culiacan. Los Chapitos, they have also been attacking Los Mallitos and Los Mallitos also to Los Chapitos. Today we went to a conflictional area where both of these organizations used to dump bodies to send a message to one another. One of them, as a sign of who they were, it is La Chapitza. They use a pizza sign that those are the organization from Los Chapos, from the Chapo Guzman. So when they used to dump a body, they used to leave a pizza on top of the body. The other ones, Los Mallitos, they used a sombrero, like a Tejano, Texas sombrero, and they used to leave it on the body to make everybody understand that that was a sign that that body, it is a message that was, from them. The city has completely lost a whole infrastructure of economy in the afternoons and late in the afternoons. Now, little by little, people are coming out. Right now, you will see a little bit of people in the parks, in also in the plazas. But people understand that after hours they cannot be outside and they cannot be walking or driving around the city, which is extremely dangerous to be driving. We have been in through really insecure communities, recording and also documenting what is going on over here and what is the trickle effect of this war it is going to have over there. And the most important detail right here, it is what it is going to happen and what was going to happen to the United States of America and what is actually going to happen if the judges and these federal judges, they continue to advocate for illicit and illegal activity, progressive liberalism in the United States of America. You're basically inviting what is happening in these kind of cities where this is a normalization of a brutal conduct. What is this normalization of a brutal conduct? Seeing decapitated people, massive shootings, continuous illegal activity, abduction of people, kidnappings. Just recently, yesterday, we went to a protest where they collective group was protesting for a retired police officer, which she was abducted with her child, and they cannot find her. And they're actually protesting in the fiscal general of the state, which tells you the level of insecurity that you are actually being present over here in Culiacan. Also, to name a few, just really close from here, there was a brutal and I don't know how to say it, but it was so aggravated to see the video, an enormous decapitation of a leader of a cartel that they left the head on the sidewalk on a really busy road. Just it's always busy, and they left it right there in early hours in the morning. This is a war zone, and the journalists over here understand what this war zone it is about. It is extremely difficult for journalists to work over here. Why? Because the organized crime intends to understand that you're picking sides. So you have to be extremely careful with what you say. And the journalists have been also threatened. We are writing with one of the most experienced journalists over here in Culiacan, and he has been a couple of confrontations and a couple of crossfires where he actually said, you know what, in the second one, I was just saying goodbye to myself, and internally I was saying goodbye to my family. It was extremely dangerous, that confrontation that I was at. But I just want to add to this. This is what the country it looks like right now. Although there has been several informative reports of the president saying that they have seized a laboratory on the north of Zacatecas, the biggest laboratory in history, which it was operating under the past administration. They seized more than 700 million doses of methamphetamine. The property of that ranch, which it was this massive laboratory, it was more than 40 acres of of just continuous laboratory utensils, which they were basically being used for methamphetamine and also for fentanyl. Over here in Culiacan, excuse me, more than 300 laboratories have been dismantled since the Trump administration came into office, basically took the authorities to push them to do something about it. All the journalists over here, they wonder, the United States of America intends to arrest and extradite all these kingpins and leaders of the drug cartels, but they easily get replaced. And that is really a thing that I have been repeatedly saying. The leaders of the cartels are just usable for just amount of time. They will be extracted. They will be, ultimately also, they will be extradited to the United States. But the real ones, the real ones, what is going to happen to them, and which real ones I am talking about. The real ones are the politicians, the dirty politicians, the ones that they put actually the leaders of the cartels in place. So this war, as you see behind me, you can see right now it's actually peaceful. Right now over here, we are on West Coast time, it's 6:11. I will show, I'm gathering all this video to put a little, fragment of a documentary, 20-minute video, edited video. for everybody to see with interviews with the National Guard also, to see what is the reality of what is happening over here in Culiacan. Has been the activity of this war has been consistent, as I just mentioned. Just last week alone, 36 murders in 7 days. It escalated again. And so people were thinking it's already calmed down. We can go out. Businesses are closed. That's another thing. You go out and the streets and businesses are closed, shut down. The clubs, nightclubs, they're completely shut down. And a lot of the people, and a lot of curious things, little things that they make you wonder and make you understand. These little shopping carts, these little hot dog stands and hamburger stands and taco shops. When you see them again, like last night, we were driving and we saw like 3 or 4 of them, all of them really together, which tells you that they actually located next to each other because they're afraid. They don't want to be one right here, the other one on the other corner, the other one located in the other corner. They are really afraid. So what they do is they locate together to each other. They're really close to each other. That's exactly as every single other activity. As the journalists, when they go and report on a massive shooting or an abduction or something, they don't go alone. They go in a little group and they communicate to each other through a WhatsApp group or through through other social media. The situation over here, it is extremely dangerous. I can tell you, today we went to a place where, as I was explaining, it was a place where they were dumping bodies as a competition of who was winning. And immediately when we got there, the National Guard saw that we were pulling out cameras and immediately started pointing, to us. That is how agitated it is. That is how difficult it is over here. Life over here for the citizens is beginning to be, they have a lot of anxiety. The children are growing up with a lot of anxiety. One of the things that they were telling us is that now in schools, in elementaries and junior high schools and high schools, they're practicing of how to duck down when there's a shooting. Instead of practicing, emergency drills to get out of an earthquake or to also escape from an earthquake or what to do if there's an earthquake or a natural disaster, the children are being taught of how to take cover when there is a massive shooting. That is unbearable. That is unbelievable. And it is actually being normalized into a fact that they're doing it weekly. They're doing it every week to practice the children. If there's a shooting because there has been shootings at schools, is there's a shooting, how to duck down, how to cover yourself, and how to stay away from danger. It's amazing what's going on. It's unbelievable in a way that I'm trying to explain it. When I say unbelievable, for me it's shocking because the level of corruption still coexists in every part of our country of Mexico. And it's how difficult it is for a journalist to do your job. I will tell you an experience that happened to us. And this is how difficult it is for a journalist. That's part of the story which are putting together, Ben and I. Ben travels from the United States to where I am located. Wherever I say, Ben, let's go to South America, he says, all right, I'm going with you. We plan to come over here and say, like, hey, man, we need to get this story of how things are going over there and how things are developing because Trump is coming in and let's see if the pressure is putting, if it's getting a result and show to the government of Mexico, you're doing something, you're not doing anything. And he travels with his luggage, right? So he travels with, I always watch him, backpack, little small carry-on, and a big suitcase, a Pelican, which he puts all the equipment in there, right? In that Pelican, he had the camera for the live view, not the live view, the camera. Also, he had the Starlink. Also, he had a drone, a really small one, a DJI drone. This is how corrupt our country is. That is part of the story. Why I'm saying the corruption, it is the number one thing that makes our country a third world class country. And it makes you mad. And now you understand why tourism and why a lot of people keep stepping away from Mexico. because we still have this conduct that we need to suck on somebody else's money corruptibly to just, for us to have an access. So his luggage was stuck in City of Mexico. They told him, "Oh, your luggage is going to go direct. You have a connection all the way to Culiacan. Don't worry about it." And it got stuck in City of Mexico. When it got to Culiacan, the big Pelican luggage was not here. What happened? The thing that happened is that the Customs of Mexico took the luggage and started analyzing and saying, "Oh, he has expensive equipment." So they're saying you are transporting basically equipment that is overvalued. We need you to come and pay a tax. So they are charging him $850 for a DJI Mini. Plus, you've got to pay 19% of tax on top of that. That is ridiculous. And they are also sending us an email. There's no way to communicate with them directly. And they're sending us an email for us to deposit the money through an email and through directly into a bank to an unknown bank account. This is how corrupt it is. I just told him, you know what, the hell with it. We're not doing that. If we're returning back, we're going to pivot and do, a stop right here in Mexico City. And then we're going to go to the front desk and talk to these people, how they are so blunt to take advantage of a tourist or to take advantage now of a journalist, because that's tourism. It's coming over here also to work as a journalist. But it's ultimately, you get to understand how difficult it is as a journalist to work over here. It is extremely difficult. Mexico is number 3 in the world for assassinations towards journalists. So when you get to understand, when they opened that compartment of that Pelican and they saw that there was a camera, they saw that there was a Starlink, they saw that there was a drone, they overvalue everything so you can give them money. And, it's unbelievable the way that it is basically, being continuously, being corruptibly given in our country. We are over here since a couple of days ago. We have seen activity as, 2 assassinations happened yesterday at a town that we arrived 5 minutes later. Also, we were right now in a small neighborhood that is extremely dangerous. It's extremely dangerous to go around there. Just 2 minutes after we left there, an abduction happened. Somebody got abducted, and there's actual video of that person being abducted by the cartel and the organized crime in that neighborhood that we were just rolling and we were just recording to see how the activity is. They have a lot of these lookouts that they are riding on motorbikes. These lookouts that they're riding on motorbikes, they are specifically looking at the vehicle or what you're doing or what you actually want to do. If they want to confront you, they will go directly to your car, make you open the car and step out of the car and steal everything of your property. Don't you even have to do anything about it. Also, there's another thing that has been going on, and I want everybody to understand how aggravating this problem is. There has been 6 YouTubers and influencers being assassinated in Culiacan. These YouTubers and these influencers, and a 7th one was assassinated in Ensenada, Baja California, which is an hour and 45 minutes where I live in Tijuana. But the 7th one, his brother is from Culiacan. So these influencers and these YouTubers, they are used by the organized crime to funnel money and to pump money through their platforms and also through businesses, financing businesses, promoting businesses. As you know, the organized crime now has promoting, record companies. This is why narco corridos are trying to cancel narco corridos. By the way, canceling narco corridos means that you're actually cutting the funneling of money of the record company that is actually owned by the organized crime of the Cartel. 6 YouTubers, 6 influencers got assassinated, have been assassinated in Culiacan. The 7th one just got assassinated a couple of days ago. These YouTubers are being used by the organized crime of the Cartel to funnel money or to promote some kind of situation. It got so aggravated that the opposition of the Chapitos flew an aircraft all across Culiacan, releasing banners of these YouTubers that they were signalized and they were pointed as to tell the population of Culiacan, if you keep buying their music or if you keep watching them, we are going to come after you. Or just a message to the YouTubers and the influencers, we're going to come after you because you are part of the opposition and you're part of the challenging other team. So this is another aggravated problem which is happening internally right here in this city, which is a complete consequence of the insecurity and not handling the problem directly to basically get back to the security, get back the security to the citizens. It is extremely difficult, the situation to handle it over here in terms of the security manner. The current administration has released statements, in the past, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, the past president, said, let them handle that problem between themselves. They're the ones that they're going to handle this problem between themselves. It's incredible. You have a president that is saying, let the cartel handle this problem between themselves, and forget about the citizens. Let them handle, let this problem be handled by themselves. It's incredible that you let the organized crime handle the problem of the security of the population, and you're the president of Mexico. It's unbelievable, and it's it's unbearable. Somebody's saying, have you heard of Peso Pluma? Yes, he was one of the that it was targeted. Also, Grupo Firme was another one that it was targeted. There's a lot of influencers, a lot of groups, a lot of these narco corrido public figures that they have been targeted by the organized crime. Really simple to keep it simple. We're going to be releasing a video, 20-minute video of everything that I have done on this trip. In the next incoming days, when it's secure, for us to release it, and to give you guys a glimpse of what's going on over here. It is extremely dangerous. It's not even a joke. You can actually feel the tension everywhere you go. There's a lot of tension. This is why a lot of the people are suffering from anxiety, because they cannot even go to the store. They feel that in some particular place or manner, something is going to happen. They see something fishy and they immediately panic. It's a different kind of situation, and you start to normalize this as part of life. That is when you commit a mistake, and that is when you are understanding that you're not fixing the problem. You're being part of the problem because you're making this to be normal. Today we went to one place that it has been reported many times. They also have done documentaries about it, but it was an experience that I wanted to have. I wanted to go to this cemetery where they have buried all these kingpins and all these drug lords right here in Culiacan. And then you go to this place and it's buildings. These places where they are buried. You think that it's going to be a normal burial, and it's a normal little thing that is put right there, a cross for them to rest in peace. They make all these houses and buildings on top of them. It is incredible. We went around the whole cemetery. We recorded from outside. It is not secure to get out and record from these particular places because you never know who's there, and you never know what the repercussions are going to be if you're recording a particular place where somebody was buried and they don't want you to record that. So it's extremely sketchy to be over here. I have to understand every time that I go to the place. I like to experience as a journalist what it is to live this experience. I can tell you from a journalist standpoint what I experienced. I cannot even imagine feeling the tension that these journalists feel over here in Culiacan, to go and do their job and say, you have to go here. There has been a massive combat between these two particular, cartels. You have to go and report. As I'm hearing them from their voice and from their own sentiment, it's It's a little bit, concerning to understand and to say, I'm not possibly going to make it back home. So that's, from a journalist standpoint. From a citizen standpoint, as a Mexican, I can tell you that I feel sad that this is happening. Why? And this is the explanation that I will say. I feel extremely sad because this is affecting the citizens. This is normal people that they just want to live their lives. These are normal people that just want to go back, to their normal lives. And these are people that they're just. Thank you so much for this comment. I will read your comments right now. These are normal people that just want to live their lives. These are normal people that just want to go back to the same that they were before. They know that this is a high-level cartel activity city, but the activity between among a war among each other has become extremely serious. We were talking to a guy that plays, in a banda, a really traditional and music from our country, and it's a lot of people that they conform this group, right? And right now, what they do is they play on the corners as they ask for money in the corners because there's no parties, there's no recreation late at night, there's nothing to go out and enjoy. So what they do now is they go during the day and they separate. There were 12 members of the band, between three and three, every single one in a different stoplight to see what can they gather. We talked to one of them. He was telling us that they have obtained from the citizens, food or sushi or something that they give them. Also, they have given them money, but it tells you how big this problem has been, that it has affected the economy of everybody, right? And it's incredible that the authorities hasn't have not fixed this. For it goes more beyond an internal conflictional problem. It goes beyond. It's political. It's power. It's a lot of situations. It's a combination of a lot of factors. It's not just get rid of them and that's it. It's more than that of what these two organizations have accomplished, and the panic and the terror that it has been implemented on this city. It is incredible. I cannot explain it. There's comments all over the place to say don't listen to Blue. He's creating hysteria. He's all these. He's exaggerating sensationalism. All these people, they're sitting down in their houses and they're just typing on their phones. Meanwhile, we're over here risking our lives, giving you guys a reality from where it is, and we're going late at night to, basically record and show the reality of what's actually going on and what's actually happening. These are progressive liberals that they only complain on media, but they don't understand the actual reality of what's happening. And when you say those kind of comments, you're part of this problem and you're normalizing this conduct and you're applauding the cartel. Basically, you're applauding the organized crime instead of understanding that this is a reality. The fan that to be a fanatic of this political party in our country, it goes beyond expectation. I'm never going to understand. These people are so much fanatics that they're willing to betray the flag and betray to be to be Mexican, to basically neglect that we have a real problem, and they do not want to admit it. They want to basically neglect it, and they're willing to do that knowing that the people are suffering just to defend the political party. Beyond comprehension, what is happening, you know, what is happening over here in Culiacan, place that I wanted to come from a long, excuse me, long time ago, a place that I wanted to come from a long time ago, to document and to give you guys, the reality of what's going on over here. It's it is concerning, depressing in some places. It is completely depressing, and to actually understand, what goes on late at night, when you see those streets just alone, businesses closing at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, it gives you an understanding and also a glimpse of how much power the organized crime has over a city, that they're oppressing the population into a point that the population needs to go back home and they need to leave the city for them. It's beyond comprehension. And when you're experiencing it firsthand, you understand and you're like, oh, wow, this is a reality. This is what it is, now that this is a reality. This is actually what is happening. Somebody's saying Joe Biden. Yes, Joe Biden had a lot to do with, the growth of the cartel and the organized crime in the past 4 years uh, when he was president. He gave all this access for this to grow massively and ultimately to have the cartel to have more of an impact and more freedom to operate and to make more money. That is, uh, that is the actual reality. There's no way to go around it. It is the actual reality. And it hurt so much the population of Mexico because the cartel and the organized crime under Joe Biden grew 2 times bigger financially, territory, economically, in technology, in artillery. They grew 2 times bigger. This is not a lie, it's a reality. Look how much power they have right now when they're actually being contested to say, no, enough is enough of trafficking of humans. The United States and Canada pressuring Mexico to designate them as terrorists. The current president of Mexico does not want to do that. So it puts everything on a balance of where she stands and where she is willing to be. And this is basically makes you understand how our country and who's running our country. It's just unbearable. I can't fathom and imagine if one day this will be fixed because it's an internal problem. It's a cancer, which it has metastasized into a point that it's not ending. It's continuous and continuous and continuous, and it's just I don't try. Every time we try to understand how this got out of hand, missing people. That's another thing that I was mentioning. Today we went to a protest of a former police officer right here in Culiacan who was abducted with her child. And outside of the fiscal general of the state of Culiacan, they have these banners, these little river bands, right, of different colors. And every river band is of the missing people, not the missing person. The statistics show that out of 10 people that they are lost, or 10 people that they have been abducted by the organized crime, not even one case has been positive of getting a solution. These are actual stats in our country, in the part of Culiacan. Actual stats in the part of Culiacan. There's is a big population, beautiful place, but it's extremely dangerous to be around, these kind of areas and these kind of circumstances. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. I apologize for my audience. I am a little sick, and I'm trying to get better. We bought some medication today to get better. Hope that I can get better, and tomorrow I'll be better. Drinking a lot of cough syrup, and also the sneezing has gone away. That's we're winning, but we're trying to do the best that we can. From here, we're going to go to another place to also to give you guys the news, the reality of what's going on. We have been on the War Room. We have been with Grant Stinchfield. We have been on the network, and going and doing the broadcast that we had to do to give you guys the reality of what is going on, and to basically tell you guys what is going on in this war zone. That it's actually a war zone. A lot of people don't call it a war zone because they don't see no missiles or They don't see actually, like a military combat, but it is a war zone when you're actually seeing what is, what is the reality of this. So, thank you so much for joining in. You guys like to ask me a question, I will happily answer. The link for if somebody wants to contribute to our independent reporting and travel fund, it is right there. The link is right there, so it's pinned on the chat. God bless you. So if somebody wants to ask a question, go ahead. Um, I will read your questions as I am basically going to. A lot of people have been saying why you have not posted a video of what you're doing over there. It's for security reasons. I'm not going to do it. Everybody knows where I'm at right now, so for security reasons, we're not going to do it. I don't know about follow Ben if he actually does post some videos. Well, it's on his platform. Go ahead and follow him. So go ahead and follow him if he actually posts the videos. I'm not going to post the videos for security reasons. But after we maneuver all the videos and we get them all together and we compile every information that we got with statistics and stats, I can actually do voiceovers over the videos and explain the reality of what's going on, and also to be giving accurate information of numbers that they have been recorded right here in the city of Culiacan. God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining in. Everybody's recommending. Uh, thank you so much, Eagle Spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody's recommending honey tea and all those kind of stuff. uh, Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do it. uh, Comments. People want to ask me a question. Um, how many days you're gonna? I cannot say. I cannot say. So God bless you all. I will be, saying good night to all of you guys. Stay safe. And like we always say, God's plan. It is our mission. God bless you.